Hello, welcome to a lesson on nature journaling. My name is Janelle and I am a summer intern with the Lancaster County Conservation District. Nature journaling can be done in any outside space. It doesn't have to be in the woods, it doesn't have to be in a fancy park. It can be absolutely anywhere, even your backyard. Before we begin, let's go over an outline of what all we will be covering in this video. This video is going to briefly cover how to create the habit of journaling out in nature and why that is important and how it can draw us closer to our surroundings. I'll go through the steps that I take when I'm out in nature journaling and how you can integrate them into your own journaling method. Before you're ready to tackle your nature journaling adventure, there are a few things that you have to prepare before you leave, like water, snacks, your journal, and writing and art supplies. Be sure to wear appropriate shoes and clothing, wear bug spray, and wear sunscreen. Be sure a parent or guardian knows where you will be or have them join you. Be sure to educate yourself of harmful plants and wildlife, including poison, nettles, bees and wasps, and snakes. So why is nature journaling so important? Why am I here talking to you about this? Personally, I believe that there is a true connection that can be built between a person and their surroundings. For me, I go out in nature and I like to feel how small I am in comparison to the world around me, to all of the insects, all of the plants, all of the soil beneath my feet. Through this video, you will improve your skills in observation, reflection, writing, and self-expression. To create the habit of using your journal, always open your journal at the beginning of your adventure and write the location, date, and weather. Always include the weather in your journaling because weather influences our mood as well as the nature that we see. One big thing for me, especially right now, is because it rained last night, I may be seeing more mushrooms than what I would typically see. For my journaling adventure, I chose to come to this big rock up in Rocky Ridge Park. This rock has a lot of meaning to me. When I was younger, my family would take hikes up here and have picnics on this rock. The place that you choose to journal doesn't have to be anywhere super special. As long as there's interesting things to look at and it's a great day, you're gonna have a fun time. Before you open your journal to start your entry, take a few deep breaths. Let your mind and senses explore the nature around you. What do you hear, see, smell, and feel? Allow yourself to not only exist in the space, but be a part of the space. Ask yourself questions about nature and do your best to answer them. If you can't quite figure out how to go about starting on a blank page, and I know that can be very intimidating, I have a few examples that I would like to share with you guys. Here's a page that I did in 2018. I was studying this flower called calendula. I spent time exploring the colors of its leaves and petals and used watercolor to do that, and also wrote down all of my observations and some detailed descriptions of the colors that I was seeing. Here's one I did a few weeks ago. I was looking at clovers. I'm really good at finding four-leaf clovers, so I decided to write a journal entry about it, and it just allowed me to relax and explore the tiny little clovers that I see beneath my feet. And you can see up here in writing, I have questions asking how four-leaf clovers even come about in nature, wondering why I can find them so easily, if the luck is really real, and then I also have some descriptions of the colors and the smell. From the video that I shared, you can see that I explored some ferns, a lightning bug, and a spider web. And I'm going to go ahead and just jot some ideas that I had while I was walking, while I was looking at those things. As you can see, I took time to write a little bit about each thing that I noticed today. I talked about memories, I talked about how spiderwebs look in the sunlight with the beads of water that stick to them. I also talked about how ferns are very delicate, but yet they're some of the first regrowth in the spring, and they continue right through the summer heat. There's nothing in particular that you have to write about. Write absolutely anything that comes to your mind, even if it sounds silly to be writing it down. Additionally, you don't have to use art in your journaling. If you want to write about what you saw and how you felt, that is absolutely okay. You can stop here. When including art in your journal entries, be sure to be as accurate as you can. It doesn't need to be perfect or include every bit of detail. If you'd like, use extra descriptive words to really capture details that you may miss out on. You can also include why you chose the object that you did and what roles the object can play in nature. You can use that as a way to describe its life if you'd like. Now I'm going to walk you guys through how I go about adding art to my nature journal. And here you can see the tools that I have. I have some watercolor brushes, my watercolor set, some colored pencils, and some sketching pencils. First thing I like to do is grab the object that I want to focus on. So here I grabbed a fern. Next, I will be sketching the fern with a sketching pencil. The first thing that I'm doing here is sketching the outline. My first goal is to recreate the shape, then I'll add textures, shadows, and highlights. Here you can see the shape that I've recreated from the fern. The next thing that I'll be doing is adding color, and I'll be using watercolor and colored pencils today. Here is my recreation of the shape with added color. To create the texture of these little leaves, I'm just going through with my colored pencil and pretty much adding squiggly lines. If you aren't quite that artistic, don't want to take the time to do that, there is another option that I have. You can take your object, crush it up, and smear it on your page. This will deposit the color right there, and you can go ahead and compare it to the color that you used for your art piece. Also, a great way that you can capture different details of an object is to create a nature stamp. You can do this with acrylic paint or a marker. You can draw on it, paint on it, and then just take your object and stamp it right on your page. So this is my finished part for the fern. I'm going to go ahead and add some artwork for the lightning bugs and the spider web. Here is my finished journal entry. When you are finished with your journaling method, take time to notice how you feel after doing so. Do you feel any different after taking time to journal? Do you feel any different after spending time in nature? My hope for you is that through journaling, you have a strong appreciation for nature and what it has to offer. It's important that you show nature this appreciation by protecting it and conserving it. Over time, you will see your journaling skills improve, and you will be drawn even closer to nature. Thanks for watching.